Hi, Christian from BrightLocal here. On this video, I'm going to be sharing some of the key findings from a recent piece of research that we've just launched. The research is called the Local Consumer Review Survey. As the name suggests, it's all about reviews and how consumers perceive and interact with them online when they're researching local businesses. And we've been running this now for 12 years. We ask similar questions each year so we can get those benchmarks to see how consumer behavior might be changing, but we also try to freshen it up, focusing on different topics or issues that may be surrounding online reviews. So in this video, I'm going to take you through 7 of our key findings from this year's research. So number 1 is that reviews are being used by more people than ever before. The last time we did this research back in 2020, we found that 87% of consumers use online reviews to evaluate local businesses. That number's shot up to 98%. So that's only 2% of consumers who don't rely on online reviews. So it's clear that reviews are playing an even more important role when it comes to consumer decision making. Number 2 is that Google is by far the most important review site when it comes to consumer decision making. In 2020, 63% of consumers said they'd used Google to evaluate a local business in the last 12 months. That's shot up to 81%, which really just shows how prominent Google is when it comes to online behavior. But it's not just Google that you need to pay attention to. 53% of consumers said they used Yelp within the last 12 months. 48% said Facebook, which is actually down on 2020 when 54% of consumers said that they relied on Facebook for evaluating local businesses. Next up, we've got TripAdvisor at 36% and Better Business Bureau at 31%. And then perhaps surprisingly, we've got Apple Maps. Only 13% of consumers said they used Apple Maps to evaluate a local business. It's fair to say that Apple Maps doesn't have the market share that Google Maps has right now, but it still is a surprisingly low figure given how many people have Apple devices. Number 3 is that consumer expectation around average star rating is on the up. Back in 2020, 65% of consumers said the minimum average star rating a business needed for them to even consider using them was 3.5 stars. And that's now shot up to 77%. So that's obviously a jump, but to put it in perspective, around a quarter of people will not consider a business if it has under 3.5 stars. That's a huge number of customers that businesses might be missing out on simply because their average star rating isn't high enough. Number 4 is that businesses have to be responding to their online reviews. 89% of consumers say they would be likely to use a business that responds to all reviews, both positive and negative. So it's a good practice to be responding to all of your reviews if you want to be appealing to potential customers. And on the flip side, if you're not responding to reviews at all, then you could be alienating quite a large number of potential customers. 22% of respondents said they were not likely at all to use a business if it didn't respond to any of its reviews. Number 5 is if you don't ask, you don't get. It may seem obvious, but the best way to get more reviews is to simply ask your customers, and the data is backing this up. So 12% of consumers left a review for a business every time that they were asked in the last 12 months. So that's more than 1 in 10 people are going to instantly leave you a review if you just simply ask them. 23% said they'd left a review more than half the time. 30% said they left a review less than half the time. And it was only 18% who said that they'd never left a review when being prompted. So hopefully you need no more convincing to go out there and be generating more reviews by simply asking your customers. Number 6 is that fake reviews are seen as a real problem by consumers. 62% of consumers believed they'd seen a fake review for a local business in the last year. And this seems to be an issue that the biggest tech companies in the world are simply not doing a good enough job on. 52% of consumers were confident that they'd seen a fake review on Amazon, half were confident that they'd seen a fake review on Google, and then 37% were confident they'd seen a fake review on Facebook. And this is having a knock-on effect on the overall trust in online reviews. 2/3 of consumers say the existence of fake reviews makes them distrustful of online reviews in general. So number 7, and the final key finding, is that industry has a big impact in how important reviews are with consumer decisions. So the top 3 business types where reviews are either important or very important in consumer decision making were service businesses and tradespersons, followed by care services and healthcare. So this makes sense. These are businesses that are less frequently used than, say, a bar or a restaurant, and they come with a higher risk for the consumer. So if you're a business in these types of industries or an agency working with these types of clients, your online reputation is going to be vitally important to make sure that you're appealing to potential customers. So that's it, 7 review trends you need to know in 2022. There's a whole heap of further insights in the full piece, so I recommend heading to the description and clicking the link and giving it a read yourself. Thanks for watching.